President Trump has some strong opinions about his impeachment process.
Halloween with the Hawks allowed the community to interact with QU athletes. The strike in Chicago has some students worried about their futures. Hello and welcome to QUTV News This Week. I'm Alexa Lowe.
And I'm Taylor King. QU athletes are celebrating Halloween early.
Student athletes played games and passed out candy to children. The Hawks is put on by QU's Student Athlete Advisory Committee. Athletes from each team put together games to play with trick-or-treaters.
I really like how it's a community-oriented event. Brings the whole Quincy town together, and it's a way of giving back for us as student athletes too. I think it's a great chance.
Oh, you're pro. All right, I'm on my.
Halloween with the Hawks is a great chance for the community to interact with QU students.
You don't want to be spiders? She said she will be spiders. Okay, there you go.
Hey, hard. Hey!
Maddox says favorite part about Halloween with the Hawks is
you get candy.
And his favorite candy is
Chocolate.
Braden Lowry says it feels good to give back to the community.
They're always doing stuff for us, coming to our football games and supporting our school.
Thank you so much.
All proceeds go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Tomorrow, candy will be the center stage as little ghosts and goblins head door to door to collect tricks and not treats. Today is all about candy corn. It's National Candy Corn Day. The sugary goodie looks like a yellow, orange, and white horn. Although this isn't people's favorite candy, it's a classic fall treat. But after over 100 years, there is no denying the candy corn.
The Newman Singers are making an appearance in Quincy. They are a liturgical singing group from the Catholic Student Center in Iowa City. They perform at St. Peter Church on Main Street, and the concert will be this Sunday at 3 o'clock. This group travels the country spreading youth ministry through music. A free will offering will be taken.
It may be cold outside, but you can listen to some hot jazz this weekend. The Hawk Express Jazz Band concert is Sunday. The concert will be held in the Connie Neiman Center for Music at North Campus. It is free and open to the public. There will be soloist Sam Duss and a trap dancer, Courtney Crane, featured in the concert. The concert starts at 3 o'clock.
Want to win some Flex dollars? Take 7 minutes out of your day to take a survey for the CAF. The company that runs the CAF really does want to know what you think. Search your email for an email from QU Community Relations and look for the one that says Annual Dining Survey. They want to know what you think could be done better. The link in the survey will be there, and the deadline to take the survey is tomorrow. What is going to happen next in the impeachment process?
Is it just a hoax to President Trump? Find out when we come back.
To make it your cue for you to do what you love.
Finding your passion is easy at Quincy University. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's degree or looking to go even further, at QU, your professional and academic future is bright. 40 undergrad programs include moments that become experiences, connections that become careers, and relationships that become lifelong support. We want you here. That's why we work hard to ensure that a Quincy University education is affordable. Let us help you put together a plan. Visit discover.quincy.edu to get started.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I lost my mother and brother at the age of 13, which is so hard for a 13-year-old. I never let their death be like a burden to me, but more so of a motivation, because anything that I do from now is for them. I brought my GPA back up to where it should be. Myself and other African Americans or blacks, we all feel that, oh, the criminal justice system is like rigged against us. And that's also kind of like what motivates me to go into forensic psychology. So I'm a fan of Law and Order, SVU, and with that, that's what kind of like persuaded me or guided me to go into that field.
Chicago college-bound students are worried about their future. That's because their high school teachers are on strike.
This is the 10th day for the strike. Reporter Uriah Young tells us how the strike is causing anxiety in college-bound students.
They locked the gate. Still, no deal between the Chicago Teachers Union and the Chicago public school system. The strike now 10 days, the longest in nearly 30 years.
I think a lot of the big things, I think I can see where they're going to land, or I can see they will land. But, we haven't settled everything. There's still some other stuff.
I really, really hope that they do the right thing and that they move forward so that all of our young people can get back in class.
High school senior Ian Bacon has likely had his cross-country season cut short because of the strike.
It's just really disappointing that our season had to end this way.
Bacon learned the hard way that state rules don't allow athletes to compete during the strike. Students who play volleyball, football, and tennis have also been impacted.
It's disappointing to just see that all not necessarily go to waste, but
barring some miracle, the seniors, there are a lot of seniors who will never run a cross-country race, an organized cross-country race again.
Mainly I've been just, doing homework that I was due before and coming out here a lot practicing.
For seniors Jose Rivera and Jacob Herstrick, normally their entire baseball team would be here practicing. They are now worried about the impact the strike is having on their early college application process.
It's already stressful enough, so I think the teacher strike definitely adds to that. And to not have someone professionally able to read my essay, it's a little nerve-wracking when I'm submitting college apps with multiple different essays that I'm not fully confident in.
Jacob tells me many of his friends have even applied for extensions from colleges in hopes of buying some extra time. Many seniors have also missed ACT and SAT testing dates.
So for me, what's in jeopardy is early applications, in particular to Fordham. I was recently given an extension to that school, but I don't know if I'll make the extension date even with this because of the strike continuing longer than maybe they even expected.
The teachers' strike started on October 17th, with 25,000 teachers walking off the job in the country's third largest school district. Nearly 300,000 students have been out of school. Class size and staffing are two of the issues holding up an agreement.
These kids have become the collateral damage for this strike.
My hope is the strike ends soon. I'd like to get back to school, get my essays read, meet with my teachers.
Scores are down across the country. That's according to the results released Wednesday from the National Assessment of Educational Progress. Results were released in what's known as the nation's report card. The average reading score for 4th and 8th grade students dropped between 2017 and 2019. Changes in math were mixed between those same years. 4th grade scores increased, while 8th grade scores decreased. Another education group found the lowest performing students were doing worse across both subjects. Officials say researchers need to look into why proficiency is declining. Results are for public schools only. 2 State Department experts in Ukraine are scheduled to be removed today from the House impeachment inquiry.
This comes one day after a top Ukraine expert was removed for more than 10 hours. Meanwhile, the House is moving toward the next phase of the process. John Lawrence reports.
President Trump on Twitter blasting the do-nothing Democrats and never-Trumpers for the impeachment process he calls a hoax and disgrace.
If all the president did was ask the Ukrainian president to investigate his opponent, that would be a gross abuse of power. But he did more than that. He leveraged $391 million in taxpayer dollars over the Ukrainian president.
The House Rules Committee has released the resolution that's expected to be voted on Thursday. This forces lawmakers to go on the record regarding the investigation.
Every member will have to make a decision based on their conscience.
Republicans criticized the resolution, saying it came too late after weeks of closed-door depositions.
What the Democrats are now trying to do, they've basically cooked up a process they've been conducting in secret.
The resolution is a sign that public hearings are forthcoming, which means the GOP will likely have to broaden their focus beyond the process of the inquiry and talk about the substance, and in some cases, be present.
But why are you not there?
Because I have other responsibilities in the House, and what I see this as a sideshow.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
In other impeachment news, the Justice Department and the House have requested to postpone Thursday's scheduled court hearing with former Deputy National Security Advisor Charles Cooperman, citing a scheduling conflict. Go back in time in this year's History Symposium. Q is hosting a symposium on the 50th anniversary of the year 1969. History professor Justin Coffey says 1969 was a year of crisis and change. A panel will discuss the lasting effects of that crisis on the country. The event will be held in the Hall of Fame room. It starts at 6 p.m. It's free and open to the public.
The Harlem Globetrotters are coming to Quincy. March 18th, you can catch them in Pepsi Arena. This is a great time for friends and family. The event starts at 7 p.m., but doors open at 6. You can purchase your tickets in the HFC at the front desk, or you can go online to ticketweb.com. With snow coming, are we prepared for this winter weather?
I know I wasn't prepared for the sleet we saw last night. Stay tuned for your Halloween forecast.
My name's Carl Hirsch. I'm a senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm studying criminal justice here at Quincy University. I was pitching down in Florida, and all of a sudden a coach came up to me. 2 days later, I flew up here for the visit, and by the end of that week, I had my school picked out. I started playing baseball when I was about 3 or 4 years old, kind of the same age everybody usually does. And as we got older, from the age of about 7 or 8, I played with the same exact team for the most part until we were about 15 or 16, and we all went our separate ways to high school. Come May, I'm going to be looking to apply with the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. I've gotten a good taste of it here through the internship I have through the university with Quincy Police Department. And it's definitely wouldn't be possible and wouldn't be in this good of a situation without Quincy University.
College shouldn't be as hard as understanding fine art. Use the resources here at Quincy University. We're here to help.
Abby, will we see snow tonight?
Yeah, what's going on with all of this weather? Still not ready for it, but I think we just might have to be.
I know, so it's the end of October, we're nearing November, and it's not normal for us to be getting snow this early, but we actually will be seeing some snow tonight. There's a 70 and 80% chance that'll happen, and it'll go all through the night tonight, and then we'll be seeing some clouds tomorrow. But I can go ahead and show you what is on the agenda for the weather today. Like we just talked about, it's a little odd that this is happening. Some of our average temperatures for this week are some of the lowest and do not compare at all to what we've had in the past. I can go ahead and show you now. Like we just talked about, there will be some snow showers actually tonight and tomorrow as well. The highs in we will be seeing some highs in the 50s this week. That will be coming later on, Sunday and Monday. I will go ahead and show you that later. And then this week we will be seeing a lot of clouds, and with those clouds comes snow, low precipitation, very high humidity, all of that. For today, our high is 37 and our low is 28. As you can see, the normal average temperature for today in October is 59 degrees and our low is 42. So that is a very big difference between the average temperatures in October now compared to what we have now. So the normal temperature, it's just overall in October what we've been seeing the past few years. So we're definitely a lot lower in comparison to that, and we're very low in comparison to 2006 when our high was 93 degrees. And our low in 1952 is 18. So that is definitely a big fluctuation that we're definitely not in the middle of that. We're very much lower. So that means that we will be seeing a pretty harsh winter. Those conditions are coming very soon, and they're on their way, especially with Halloween coming up. It's not something you would put together unless you, of course, live in the north Just talking to Taylor about that. She said that's pretty normal for people in the north, but it's not normal for people here. So our Wednesday conditions, wind coming from the north at 14 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy conditions, chance of snow as of right now at 50%. So there's a 50% chance that could happen right now. Sunset at 6:05 p.m. tonight. Our temperature is still at 36. It's going to drop down to 28 degrees. Wind coming from the north-northwest at 13 miles an hour. Chance of snow rises to 80% as the night goes on. The sunrise will be at 7:31 p.m. As you can see, the sunrise is slowly and gradually becoming later, and then our sunset is gradually becoming sooner. So that's something that we can look forward to. But this weekend on Saturday, you will have to set your clocks back 1 hour, so that gives you 1 more hour to sleep. That is something we can all be thankful for. This Thursday, conditions coming in from the west, northwest, at 14 miles an hour. We will be seeing some morning snow tomorrow morning. So as we look into tonight, I said that there's an 80% chance. That's going from, actually starting right now, and then 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., the chance rises to 80 and 90% chance. So that will definitely be something that will happen. Goes throughout the night, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So if you're awake at that time for some reason, you might just want to look out your window and see if that's actually happening, because we might be getting a snow day sooner than you might think. Humidity at 68% for Thursday. Going into this weekend, our highs are 48 for Friday, and that's going to be one of the highest highs that we will be seeing this week. Earlier I said that we'll have some of those 50-degree temperatures. This is one of those near that. Friday Eve, it goes down to 32 degrees. Wind is coming in pretty hard at this point. As well as Saturday. It goes from 5 to 10 miles an hour west-northwest on Friday evening. It moves up to 10 to 15 miles an hour on Saturday, but we'll still be getting that sunshine, those clouds, and 44-degree temperatures on Saturday. And go ahead and show you Thursday. As you can see, the snow showers we just talked about moving into Sunday and Monday. Those are going to be our 50-degree temperatures that we can look forward to. So we're kind of getting through that, I don't know, that messy week of snow coming in, of the low temperatures, and I think something that we can look forward to are those temperatures, as you can see on the map, or not the map, on the temperature chart. 40s, it goes up to 50s a little bit, so that's, at least we won't be getting snow next week. We're just gonna kind of have to get through those, that cold weather now, and it kind of sucks that it's on Halloween. I'll say that for all those kids and for everyone just doing activities on Halloween. But I will say something we can look forward to is that time change on Saturday.
Right, it's gonna mess me up, but yeah, I think it's about time to get the coat out now.
Yes.
It's super cold out.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you, Abby.
Q has a new coach for its bowling team. Nicholas Bohannon has been named coach for both the men's and women's bowling programs. He spent the last 3 years as coach for the Hong Kong Sports Institute. He'll be responsible for all aspects of the program, including training and daily operations. The women's volleyball team played a couple exciting games over the weekend.
And the men's basketball team opens their season tomorrow with a big game. Sports director Shane Holsey joins us next.
Quincy University's Res Life community is here to help you.
Basketball season is officially upon us.
Sports Director Shane Hosey is here with all the details. Shane?
Yeah, isn't it exciting to finally have some college hoops on the docket? It's officially that time of year again. The men's basketball team plays their first exhibition game of the season tomorrow against Big Ten foe Northwestern. The Hawks took the floor at Pepsi Arena this week in preparation for their trip to Evanston, Illinois to take on the Wildcats. This will be the first of 3 exhibition games against Division I opponents for the Hawks this season. They will face Southern Illinois Edwardsville on November 5th and Loyola Chicago on December 7th. QU head coach Ryan Hellenthal and junior point guard Austin Downing say the Hawks should cherish this opportunity and try not to get caught up in the moment.
Anytime you get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play a Big Ten team on their floor, not a lot of Division II student athletes get that opportunity. So I'm happy for our guys, and it's great for our program, and go spend a couple days in Chicago, bond as a team, and then go and let it all hang out on Thursday night.
Obviously, you want to go in there and win, but at the end of the day, we just want to make sure we're having fun, working on things we need to work on as a team when it comes to, making the next pass and doing everything like that. Just not getting caught up in the hype. You know what I'm saying, and just playing our game and doing what we need to do to win.
Tip-off for tomorrow's game is scheduled for 7 p.m. This game will count towards Northwestern's record, but not QU's record. The Lady Hawks women's volleyball team started off the weekend Friday in Bolivar, Missouri, taking on the Bearcats of Southwest Baptist. The Lady Hawks moved to 500 in conference play with a 25-20, 24-26, 25-15, 25-14 victory. Emily Rehagen picked up 17 kills and played great defense as well, tallying 15 digs. The Lady Hawks momentum continued into their matchup with Drury on Saturday. Quincy won the first 2 sets, including a thrilling first set, which ended 30-28. Drury would prevail 25-21 in the third set, then win the final 2 sets in convincing fashion to complete the comeback. With the loss, the Lady Hawks fall to 11-14, 4-5 in the GLVC. They return to Pepsi Arena to take on Rockhurst on Friday and William Jewell on Saturday. The Hawks football team returned home this past weekend after 3 straight road games, with quarterback Andrew Runn fresh off his 350-yard, 5-touchdown performance against Southwest Baptist. The Hawks would try to back up that performance against a formidable foe in Lindenwood. The Lions making the trip to QU Stadium for the first time in what promised to be a shootout, and it didn't disappoint. Lindenwood's second play from scrimmage, quarterback Cade Brister is going to roll out to his left and launch this one down the field. Look at this throw, an absolute dime to Peyton Rose, and the Lions jump out to a 7-zip lead. The Hawks would answer later in the second quarter. 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Andrew Runn rolls out and finds his tight end, Bo Kafka, and we're all knotted up at 7. He gets in for the score. We go now to late in the second quarter, 4th down. Hawks down 20-7. Check out this grab by junior wideout Brandon Gaston. Defender draped all over him, and he still makes the catch. And the Hawks go into the half trailing by just 6 points, 20-14. The Hawks would cut the deficit to 5 late in the third quarter on a Keenan Haley 1-yard touchdown run right here. But that's as close as the Hawks would get. A very entertaining game all in all. The Hawks come up 1 touchdown short, falling to the Lions 33-27. The Hawks drop to 3-5 and 1-4 in the GLVC, while Lindenwood stays undefeated in conference play in their first year in the GLVC, moving to 4-0. Quincy will face Newport News Apprentice School this Saturday. Kick off an hour earlier for that one at noon at QU Stadium. The women's soccer team took to the pitch last Friday evening against the McKendree Bearcats. The teams played to a scoreless draw and were even on shots as well, 10-10. Emily Autry stopped 7 shots to keep the Bearcats off the scoreboard. In the nightcap, the Hawks men's team jumped on top of the 19th ranked Bearcats when Anthony Cristante scored in the 4th minute, but McKendree's James Stone recorded 2 goals in the final 5 minutes, including one with 35 seconds left to lift the Bearcats over the Hawks 2-1. Then on Sunday, the Screaming Eagles from the University of Southern Indiana made the trip to Quincy. The Lady Hawks surrendered 2 second-half goals in a 2-0 loss to USI Sunday afternoon. The Lady Hawks fall to 5-9-1 overall, 4-8-1 in GLVC play, and sit 11th in the conference. They'll need to win both games this weekend and get some help to make it into the top 8 and make the conference tournament in a couple weeks. Then later that afternoon, the men's team jumped out to another early lead with a goal from Justin Armfield in the 17th minute, but another late second-half goal did the Hawks in once again. USI's Drew Austin scored in the 89th minute to give the Hawks their second straight 2-1 loss. These 2 losses dropped the Hawks to 7-8 overall, 5-7 in the GLVC with 2 games left. The Hawks' 5-7 mark in conference play is 11th in the conference, but 8th place Lewis is just 5-6-2 in league play, so a conference tournament berth could still be in the cards for Mike Carpenter's squad. So a rough weekend for Hawks soccer, but hopefully they can pick up some wins this weekend and try to extend their season. Hopefully they can pull those out and give us some more to talk about here in a couple weeks.
I really hope so. Thank you, Shane.
Of course.
A Massachusetts teenager has a pretty epic Halloween costume this year.
It's pretty darn cool. You don't want to miss this.
The wood that we use to form the plane.
But this year's costume is a very special
An oncologist is a cancer doctor. An MRI is a magnetic resonance imaging. Neuroblastoma is a cancer that mostly affects kids.
Do the kids in your grade know these words?
Probably not.
Why do you?
I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, but I don't have cancer anymore, and so...
Wait a minute, are you cancer-free?
Yeah.
Serving the nation's poor and vulnerable regardless of faith, and advocating on their behalf, we are Catholic Charities.
A Massachusetts father pulled an idea from his family tree for this year's epic Halloween costume for his son. Jason Law has the next story.
What do you think, Tommy?
The big reveal.
Today's the big day. We're going to dress you up.
The moment when 15-year-old Tommy Hardy no longer sees his wheelchair. Instead, he sees himself in the cockpit, piloting an iconic Air Force jet, the SR-71 Blackbird.
The creativity in this garage is just amazing.
For the last month, Tommy's dad and friends have put in nearly 100 hours, using parts from around the garage to create this Halloween costume.
I think it's a great family tradition that we have.
Tommy has cerebral palsy. He's living with autism and is nonverbal, but Dad says he's your typical teenager who loves Halloween.
To watch Tommy light up, and not only watch him light up trick-or-treating as a kid, but also seeing the other kids around him just being so like, wow, that's an awesome costume, bud. You know, they're not looking at him like he's in a wheelchair. They're just seeing an awesome costume, just a little kid going out having some fun.
In recent years, Tommy has been an X-Wing fighter from Star Wars, rode one of the dragons from Game of Thrones, and last year stopped traffic in this Haverhill police car.
The real detail this year is the wood that we used to form the plane.
But this year's costume has a very special meaning for this family.
We actually got a photo of the SR-71 cockpit. So we cut that out, laminated it, and then also added my father and my mother from their military days.
Tommy's grandparents were both in the Air Force, and both passed away this year.
Trying to dedicate this costume to my family. My parents were huge supporters of what we did doing this each year, so we wanted to give something back.
Every year we just amaze ourselves. It's just a lot of fun.
The custom build only cost him about $75. This is the 4th year the family has been able to pull off a feat.
That sure beats any Halloween costume I've ever had. That's for darn sure.
I know. I mean, just imagine that tradition and like the way that they're honoring that family at the same time. I just think that's very cool.
Yeah, the tribute is the best part to that story.
I'm excited to see what his costumes might look like in the future.
I know.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you for tuning in to QUTV News this week. For Abby, Taylor, and Shane, I'm Alexa. Have a fun and safe Halloween and stay warm while you're trick-or-treating. We'll see you next week.